experts looking into how deadly force was interpreted in those reports. And Kristen, it all stems from what was perceived as a threat.
That threat, Chris, is Tamir and his gun. The question is whether Tamir acted in such a way here at Cadell Rec Center that made the police officers fear for their lives. The authors of these reports said yes. Their conclusions largely based on what they saw in surveillance video, but their interpretations of that video are different.
It's a difficult conclusion. You watch the video, it's hard to see exactly what's happening there.
What's happening here in the seconds leading up to Tamir Rice's death is slightly different based on which of these investigative reports you read.
Apparently they're seeing different things.
And that is concerning to Jonathan Whitmer-Rich, a Cleveland State law professor, because the investigators' conclusions rely heavily on this grainy surveillance video of the shooting. One of the independent investigators writes he saw Tamir approach the police car and move his hand toward his waistband. Another writes Tamir lifted his jacket, indicating he may take a gun out. Both of them considered the actions a threat, which therefore gives the police officer protection in this case. National security expert Timothy Dimoff explains.
You have the right to control that subject from getting away and harming others in a serious manner, and you have a right to control, seize that person from harming you.
That protection comes from the Fourth Amendment, which is the only standard the two investigators used to research this case, as directed by the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office. Using just that standard and knowing that Tamir had what appeared to be a real gun, legal experts tell me there is not much room to argue.
This is a case where I just don't see any room for misinterpretation.
You're just talking about, really, was the officer acting in self-defense, and that's relatively straightforward.
What might not be so straightforward, according to that law professor, is if the authors of these reports were asked to investigate how the police officers approached the scene that day. Video shows them pulling up and quickly shooting Tamir without any evidence of them assessing the situation first. And Professor Whitmer-Rich says in that part of the case, reckless homicide could be argued. Live in Cleveland, I'm Kristen Volk, News Channel 5.